America's favorite yentas have been exposed again. The ladies might be on hiatus right now. They're on their annual summer break. The Whoopi cushion, she will be spending the next few weeks at the toxic gas station getting her tank refilled to ensure that the boodle breeze will be flowing in September. The rest of the yentas, they are visiting what they call miracle workers, or as the rest of us would call them, doctors. They are having their Botox refilled. Big Red Joy Behar, she wants to be sure that she doesn't look a day over 80 when the 29th season of The View starts next month. But just because the ladies are on vacation, that does not mean they can't be exposed. And I believe most Americans are hoping that season 29 will be the final year of toxic mouth farts and boodle breeze. I just don't understand why ABC would want to follow a formula that is a proven failure. I thought after the election, the mainstream media would shift, mainly for their own survival. I thought the media would realize that America rejected the woke fungus. But for some reason, the media seems to be ordering a double dose of wiener. It doesn't make sense. Why would you want to emulate failure? When I was first starting out here on YouTube, the channel was mainly about sports, breaking down games, free agent signings, trades. I was really no different than what you would see on ESPN or FS1. It took me a while to realize that if I wanted to succeed, I had to offer something different. I had to talk about things that you might not see in the media, or offer a different perspective than the media. Basically, all I really needed to do was tell the truth and be authentic. Now, in my defense, at least I was trying to emulate something that worked. But the point is, I needed to be different. And that's what the mainstream media can't seem to figure out. The reason Joe Rogan is successful, he's different. Brandon Tatum, Patrick Bet-David, they might have similar values, similar politics, but they're two different perspectives. Their shows are completely different when compared to each other. The reason the media is struggling, the reason the media is a huge embarrassing failure, they're all the same. CNN is no different than MSNBC. Jim Fallon is the same as Jim Kimmel. Hell, they even have the same name. Sean Squires is no different than Stephen Colbert. And they'll be sharing another similarity very soon when NBC finally fires Sean Squires. Over the last 2 or 3 years, Stephen Colbert had something like 176 woke guests on his late night dump. One conservative, 176 liberals, 176 lonely, miserable people, and one normal person. This formula is a proven failure. It got him fired. So why in the hell would the yentas on The View copy the same formula? Why would the yentas on The View guarantee their own demise? Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Chapter. One thing most people don't realize until it's too late, dealing with Medicare, it can be an overwhelming experience. There are countless plans, rules, penalties. Calling the government for help? Good luck with that. Fortunately, though, there is help available, and that's where Chapter steps in. Chapter is an advocate for seniors to help you choose the right plan for your needs. Chapter is completely independent, which means they are only incentivized to find the right plan for you. Uncle KC actually tested out their services. My mom turned 65 back in January. Both of my parents, they already had insurance plans, but I had her call Chapter anyway. Long story short, Chapter told my parents that they already had the best plan available. There was no need for them to change. Chapter actually found a plan that would save them a couple of $100s every month. However, Chapter explained to my parents that their current plan would save them more money in the long term. So, since they can afford it, Chapter advised my parents to keep their current plan. Telling my parents to keep their current plan, that was of no financial benefit to Chapter, but that's the kind of honest service they provide. Look at it like this. If you were wrongfully sued, you're not going to go to court without a lawyer, right? So why would you deal with the hassle, the confusion of Medicare without having an advisor? Even if you already have coverage, Chapter might be able to find you a better plan. You literally have nothing to lose. It's free. So call today, 510-279-3616. 510-279-3616. Have Chapter find the right plan for you today. Headline at MRC News Busters, who continue to do phenomenal work exposing the filth in the mainstream media. Headline at MRC, The View spoke to zero conservative pro-Trump guest in 2025. Wait a minute. I thought executives at ABC wanted this dump to be more balanced. And if I remember correctly, this was not a request, it was a demand. ABC was demanding that the Yentas be more politically balanced. How in the hell can you be balanced when you have zero normal people on the show? Well, Casey, maybe they didn't have any woke guests either. Yeah. According to MRC, there have been 102 liberal guests on The View since January. 102 guests that indoctrinated lonely women and exposed them to the woke fungus. 102 guests that were hypnotized by the powerful boodle breeze of the Whoopi cushion. You know, in the Yentas' defense, maybe they invited normal people on the show and normal people declined. I have yet to meet the normal person who enjoys the fragrance of Whoopi's poopery. It's not just woke politicians that were invited on The View. They've also featured plenty of woke comedians. And when I say comedians, I'm talking about comedians similar to Jim Kimmel. Comedians who lack the ability to be comedic. Check out some of these big stars. Wanda Sykes, Mario Cantone, Amber Ruffin. Who, and who? Who in the hell are these people? You mean to tell me the ladies had time to interview Luigi, but they couldn't find time to speak with Ted Cruz? They couldn't find an opening for Tucker Carlson? Sean Hannity? Hell, at this point, I would take Mittens Romney. At least he would count for half a conservative. Me personally, I don't give a shit who the Yentas invite on their show. I hope they keep following this same formula because all they're doing is hastening their own demise. Since January, The View has lost 400,000 viewers. They haven't joined Stephen Colbert in the danger zone just yet, but they're getting close. I don't care if they continue with this formula and it leads to their cancellation, but it just shows you how corrupt, it shows you how unbalanced the mainstream media is. It also proves they're all the same. Last week, the ladies gave their biased opinion on the firing of Stephen Colbert. My personal favorite Yenta, Asuncion. My personal favorite, the Radiant Sun hosting, she tried to explain why Stevie was fired. And by tried to explain, I mean, she copied the rest of her pretend friends in the media and made excuses. According to Sun, Stevie wasn't fired because he was losing $40 million every year. Matter of fact, according to Sun, the potential reason is far more sinister. Sun Hostin was on the verge of tears as she explained that our democracy was under attack. The firing of a huge embarrassing failure in late night television, it represents the dismantling of our Constitution. Watch for yourself.
My concern is if it is political, then everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned. Because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right? And so the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason, and that is freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to speak truth to power. If that is taken away, if the comedians are being attacked, then that means our Constitution is being dismantled. That's right. That means the very rubric of our democracy is being dismantled. And I think every single person should be really, really concerned about it. What are we going to do as a country? We must protect our Constitution and we must protect our democracy.
You really expect me to believe Sun Hostin is in tears because Stevie got fired? You really expect me to believe she is emotionally distraught because the Constitution is supposedly being dismantled? How come Sun doesn't talk about the Constitution when ICE agents are being attacked? How come she doesn't cry about threats to democracy when riots are taking place in major cities? How come Sun doesn't break down in tears when a white couple in Cincinnati is brutally attacked by people belonging to marginalized groups? The Yentas, they don't get upset about that. But when some huge embarrassing failure gets fired for losing $40 million, Sun is running out of Kleenex. This is exactly what we always talk about with the mainstream media. There is no authenticity. None of this is real. There is no journalism. There is no legitimate reporting. The media is essentially made up of highly paid, low-skilled actors who repeat the same talking points. And look, if conservative media was this way, I would be saying the same thing. I rarely agree with the Young Turks. When Anna Kasparian was on Piers Morgan last week screaming about the children in Gaza not having access to applesauce, the children! It's all about the children! I didn't agree with everything she was saying. I thought she was being a bit performative. I thought Anna Kasparian was being a little bit overdramatic, but I never doubted her sincerity. I never doubted that she believes what she is saying. I watch the Young Turks, not because I agree with them. I watch them because they make me think. I watch them to get a different perspective because it makes me better. I can't do that with The View. I can't do that with most of the mainstream media because none of it is real. Give me your thoughts on this. MRC exposes The View, which was supposed to be more politically balanced. 7 months into 2025, and The View has not interviewed a single conservative guest. 102 liberals, 0 conservatives. It's the same formula that got Stephen Colbert fired. Will the same thing happen to The View? Could they be canceled? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.